Hello guys, welcome back to yet another chapter. I have done a total of 3 today, and I'm planning to do a lot more. I mean, it's a Friday, and I have the weekend to edit if I need. But yeah, I mean, also, it's getting so good, guys. I can't wait. Anyways, let's just get straight into it. Mastermind Rise of Anarchy. Written by Clouds. My head in the clouds, not coming down. Read by MHA. Chapter 42. Raid. Summary. The walls come down. My team will go head off the villains coming for the sea. Mandalay projects to the guards. There might be more coming for the main entrance, so let's make sure that's defended as well. Okay, I sent the guards on a wild goose chase. She said out loud. Now let's find All for One. Where do we even find him? Pixie Bob asked. The guards just said solitary confinement. There was another boom from the outer walls, and Mantelay winched. The League hadn't said how exactly they were going to breach the walls, just that the pussycats didn't need to worry about it. Wherever he is, we have to find him quickly. If the villains get to him before we do, it's all over. He'll be deep, Ragdoll said, and my best is he's already making his own escape. As soon as the power went out, he probably used that stockpile of quirks to burst through the wall of his cell. We just need to head deeper, and we should pass him as he comes up. There was a boom from deep within the prison, and Mandalay nodded. Sounds like a plan. The walls disintegrated effortlessly under Tomura's grasp, and he grinned as his army flooded past him, off Shoto's ice bridge and into the halls of Tartarus itself. Mastermind would be proud of him for thinking outside the box like this. If the entrance was too heavily defended, he'd just make his own entrance. Sure, creating their own entrance had been one of the options Mastermind had listed in their plans, but quietly bringing a decommissioned warship on the black market and coming in from the water had been their own addition. Midoriya had warned them that the walls might be quirk-proof, and it was good to have a backup plan just in case he'd be correct. Luckily, he had been. If the warship itself was half for destruction and half for distraction anywhere ways. Once the ice bridge had melted, the outside forces would be focused on taking down an almost empty ship, and would have to split their focus between the army that was now storming into the prison. It was perfect for a two-pronged attack against a powerful enemy. A few guards started shooting them with their quirks, and Tomura grinned as he rushed at them, hands open, ready to dust whoever got in his way. The guards led a tense dodge, but Tomura didn't pay them any attention as he kept moving forward. All for One would be in the deepest parts of the prison, so he needed to carve his way through until he found him. One of the guards shot a ball of energy at his back, and Tomura wheeled around with a snarl. Get out of my way or die! The guard gulped and yelled back to his companions. Where are the pussycats? I thought they were supposed to be here backing us up. Tomura grinned. How do you know those heroes are really on your side? Maybe it's time for the villains' turn to be the heroes. The guards gave him a long look before turning to attack some small fry villain they'd brought along. The smart guy knew he was outclassed. Tomura hurried on his way, dusting two guards that were dumb enough to stand directly in front of him, and ran ahead of the main fight. It was time to reunite with Sensei. A guard frowned as he saw them. You guys aren't supposed to be down here. Tiger reached out and slammed him against the wall. Yeah, we know. He's knocked out, right? Pixie Bob asked. Make sure he can't sound the alarm. He's out cold, Tiger answered. I know how to do my job. Pixie Bob nodded and sent a few dust bunnies ahead. There's another few around the corner. No, wait, they're turning around. Probably going after an escape, Ragdoll said. Hopefully it's All for One. I doubt we're that lucky, Tiger said. Pixie Bob, can you tell who's prisoner's fighting? It's a woman, Pixie Bob said. Come on, let's go the other way. They ran down the hallway, and Ragdoll grinned as they heard an explosion up ahead. I think we're heading in the right direction. After the explosion, there was a chorus of yells and screams. Hold him back, men! We can't let him escape! There was a whoosh of air, and the pussycats rounded the corner to see a miniature army of guards stormed down the hallway like ragdolls, as All for One stepped over them. Ragdoll swallowed nervously. This was her only chance to get her quirk back. It took All for One a moment to notice, and when he did, he just stared at them for a long moment before laughing. Oh my! I knew Mastermind had the idea of recruiting you, but I didn't think it'd actually work. We got the power out, Ragdoll said, her throat dry. We helped you. Now give me my quirk back. I suppose I can do that. All for One grinned. I do already have a copy of it after all. Chills went down her spine, but Ragdoll forced herself to stand tall. She couldn't afford to show weakness right now. He wasn't going to get a chance to use his copy of her quirk ever again. Still, it felt like he had stolen a part of her that she'd never get back, even when she had her quirk again. She took a deep breath and let her anger fuel her. Let's get this over with. As you wish. All for One grabbed her face, and Ragdoll flinched in spite of herself. You may take back your little quirk. She felt a warmth, a familiar feeling of her quirk, spread throughout her body, and Ragdoll almost cried at the sensation. She was whole again. She wasn't broke anymore. All for One stepped back. And I suppose now is when you're going to fail to kill me. Shoto stalked through the frozen hallway, a large backpack on his back, and now chose the guard that looked the most terrified and glared at them. Tell me where Mastermind is. Now. The guard shivered, but pressed his mouth shut and shook his head. As much as he could, Shoto rolled his eyes and walked away. Fine. I'll find him myself. You all can just freeze. He almost admired that none of them called after him, but they were definitely braver than some of the cannon folders villains the League had sent to the USJ. But he still wasn't going to unfreeze them and let them keep getting away. He had a boyfriend to find. The deeper he went, the less resistant he found, mostly because All for One had already taken care of them. But he still couldn't find Izuku until he reached the hallway where the highest threat prisoners were kept, and realized that all the doors that had been burst through except for one. Feeling rage course through him. Of course all the other prisoners had used their quirks to escape, but not a single one, not even All for One, had thought to free Izuku, who was the entire reason this raid was happening in the first place. Sure, he might not be able to knock down a concrete wall, but he toppled the entire Hero Society without even trying, and they had just left him? Well, Shoto wasn't about to leave him in that cell for a second longer than he had to. Shoto froze then the door and then shot a burst of flame to create an explosion. He didn't wait for the smoke to clear before running inside. Izuku was sitting on the bed behind a glass wall, playing with a chess piece as he waited for Shoto to arrive. Izuku looked at him as he saw Shoto rush in. Hey Sho, it's been a while. Been a while. Shoto huffed and froze the window until it shattered. Izuku, I don't think you understand how much I've missed you. Izuku gave him a soft look. Maybe about as much as I've missed you. Shoto sighed. We need to get out of here. If the pussycats haven't called for backup, the guards definitely have. Izuku smiled and stretched as he stood up. Well then, I suppose it's time to see how rusty I've gotten sitting in the cell for all these months. No matter how hard a practice you are, I'll be there by your side like always. Shoto handed him the backpack. I also brought you a present to celebrate. Izuku gave him a curious look and opened it up, then gasped, Shoto, you're the best boyfriend ever! And that is the end of this wonderful chapter. I am so happy. I love this, guys. Mastermind is literally my life now. I decided, I want to be Mastermind's boyfriend too, despite the Katron simp in me. Anyways, thank you guys so much for listening. And my headphones are at less than 5%, so I might not be able to record for another like 20 whole minutes. So I'm gonna have to sit still and do nothing, guys. You have no idea how hard that is for me. Anyways, I'll see if I can't get a few more chapters done today after my headphones charge. Because sadly, that has to come first. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for listening. Have a great day, night, morning, whatever time of day it is for you guys. And I will see you all in the next chapter/video. Peace.